This is our standard. Three major components of a solar street light system. This is the solar panel, which is used for charging. This is the battery and controller integrated system, which has a charging controller. It's the energy storage and control part. This refers to the load, which is the LED light fixture, which is responsible for emitting light. During our daily maintenance process, we only need a remote control to check. Press and hold the power button to turn it on. After turning on, simply press the receive button. A single press is enough. A check mark will confirm a successful read. Then this is its daily parameter. Under normal circumstances, you don't need to monitor these routinely. Generally, how to read it. Long press and hold the receive button. Okay, it will switch to the real-time data screen. Then press the settings button. Now you can see what the system is doing. What is it doing now? The current battery voltage, photovoltaic voltage. Because it's indoors now, it is not charging, so there will be current if it is charging, but this is not important. What is the main thing to check? Check the discharge and charge of the day. The value of the current charging on the day must be greater than the discharge value of the day. As for the charging value of the day, what are the discharge values? It depends on the different projects. However, it must be a relatively common parameter. If it's more than 400 watts per day, you'd expect to see similar values the next day, and the day after, it's also over 400, which is normal, except for rainy days. Because if it's rainy for a long time, your charging and discharging volume will definitely be abnormal. We're discussing data under normal, sunny weather conditions. We only need to check the charging and discharging of the same day. If there is a problem, how do you troubleshoot? Issues generally fall into two categories. One is that the light time is insufficient. The other is that the light is completely out. Let's start with the scenario where the light is completely out. There are several situations for no light at all. What is the first thing we need to check? First, turn on the device with the remote control. After turning on, then press and hold receive to read real-time data. Okay, now we can read it. If we can see it, it basically means that the controller is working. When the controller is working, we should check. The previous charge and discharge amount is normal. If the discharge amount is greater than the charging amount, it may be out of power. If there is no power, it's usually due to long periods of rainy days. It means that we usually wait for a few sunny days. After a completely sunny day, we check if the light can be turned on. Sometimes, if there is something abnormal, it can't be read here. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, a cross symbol. And here 3 beeps. It means it can't be read. It means the controller is not working. What if it's not working? At this time, we need to open this box. After opening it, we need to check if the indicator light of the controller is on. If the indicator light of the controller is off, then we need to check. First, whether the voltage of the battery pack is normal. When checking, because the indicator light is off, we measure the red and blue wires of the battery pack. Then, after separating it, use a multimeter to measure it. Now its voltage is 25.97. This is a normal value. How to judge it? For a 24-volt system, the voltage of your battery pack should be between 22 and 28.8. For a 12-volt system, the voltage of your battery pack should be between 10.5 and 14.4. If the battery pack is within this range, and the controller pointer is not lit, it is likely that the controller is abnormal. At this time, you need to replace the controller. If, after you read it, the value is low, it generally won't be high. It's usually lower. If, for example, it was 15 volts just now, it means there is something wrong with the battery pack. For the abnormality of the battery pack, we need to determine how it is caused. One of the abnormalities, whether the charging is normal. It means the remote control reads it first, whether it can be charged normally. If the charging value is 0, then we will check it. Whether the solar panel is normal. Okay, there are 2 wires on the solar panel with a multimeter. Now the solar panel has voltage. Generally, if the solar panel is abnormal, the voltage reading will be found to be incorrect, or there is no voltage at all. How to check the voltage? Generally speaking, because we are indoors now, the value may be lower. If you are outside, if you are using a 24-volt system, the voltage reading It may be around 43 volts. This is because it is completely open circuit. The voltage is correct, because if it is connected to a load, it may only be 36 or lower. If it's a 12-volt system, then your solar panel, it may be around 21 volts, which is also correct. If it's not 21 volts, or 0 or lower, then there is a problem with your solar panel. So what you need to replace is your solar panel, not necessarily your battery pack. If the voltage of your solar panel connected is normal, then the battery has not been charged at this time. Then it's likely that the battery pack has an abnormality. Then we need to replace the battery pack. Of course, there is another situation. That is, the solar panel inspection is fine, and the battery is also fine, and the indicator light is on, but the indicator light is not on. What's the situation? It may be a problem with the light source. If there's a problem with the light source, how to check? Generally, the light source doesn't light up. It usually means the light chips are burned out. It will turn black inside. If there are small black spots somewhere, it means it has been burned out, so it doesn't light up at this time. Or what? Just unplug the plug. See if there is anything abnormal with these two pins. If the pins are intact, there is no copper rust, and there is no blockage or anything else, it means the plug is normal. But this generally does not happen. In this case, it may be a problem with the light source. At this time, it may be necessary to replace the light source. Then there is another situation, which means the light time is insufficient. If the light time is insufficient, at this time, you can use the remote control to handle it. Why? If the light time is insufficient, it means your controller is working. I can read the parameters. At this time, turn on the light first. After turning it on, read the parameters first, because after reading the parameters, turn the page to the time period and current page. Check if the time you set is the time you want, because sometimes the parameters may have been changed. For example, I clearly set it to 12 hours, but someone changed it to 8 hours later, or 6 hours. I will say, why did the light turn off so early? It's possible that the parameters have been changed. So let's check the parameters first. If the parameters are normal, it's what you want. At this time, we hold and press to receive. Long press to receive does not read real-time data, but read historical data. Let's see what happened a few days ago, because it has a summary. This is the minimum voltage of the battery the day before, the highest voltage, charging watt-hours, discharge watt-hours, and discharge time. If I want to see the data of previous days, for example, the previous 5 days, after adjusting the data for the past 5 days, it's better to press the end button. This means it has been received. After receiving it, we can check the low, the min, and max voltages. The highest voltage reaches 28.8. Look at your charge and discharge watt-hours, because what we are talking about is, although sometimes the voltage you measure, but the watt-hours of charging and discharging are wrong. It may be that the battery pack's lifespan is up. The battery pack's lifespan is up. It will cause the voltage to be falsely high, but the capacity is not enough, because the voltage is still in a normal state, but the capacity is not enough. In fact, we need to observe the charging and discharging watt-hours that day. If you first judge that it is sunny that day, and the charging and discharging watt-hours. Discharge time, if I want to discharge for 12 hours, but it only lasts for 3 or 4 hours, and the highest value after charging and discharging, it will basically reach a full state of 28.8. It may jump to full charge around 28. It shows 28. It shows that it is fully charged at 28 volts, but the charging wattage is so low, the charging wattage is so little, and the usage time is not enough. It means there is a problem with your battery. The discharge time is insufficient. Generally, it's a battery problem. There won't be any other problems. Next, we talked about 2 categories before. One is insufficient light time, and the other is that the light doesn't turn on at all. Later, there are some relatively rare problems. Some of them light up during the day. At this time, we need to check the solar panel and your integrated control machine if the wires are plugged in firmly. Sometimes it's a poor contact and it's loose. After it is loose, because the controller doesn't know day and night, it judges whether it's day or night to determine whether it is day or night. So if there is poor contact, there is no voltage transmitted here. It will default to it being dark. It will turn on the light if the contact is good. You need to check whether the contact is good. If there is no problem with the contact, it may be a controller problem. Another situation is, the light is flashing here, and flashes quickly. This is also an abnormal phenomenon. At this time, it's usually a problem with the controller. Then, there is another situation, that the remote control can't be read. The remote control can't read. It doesn't necessarily mean there's a problem with the system. It may be a problem with the distance setting of the remote. How to set it? The first one is hold on, press the power button. and the left key together. Okay, it will pop up this interface. In this interface, you can set your language. The remote type, we usually use wireless. Don't touch this. Then, the remote control distance. The remote distance is the opposite. This is 14. The smaller the number, the greater the distance. So you can adjust it up. It can be adjusted to 14. This is 14, which is actually the shortest distance. At this time, it is suitable for you to read closely. If you are far away from it, you may not be able to read it. You need to reduce the distance. That is, decrease the value. But the actual distance is actually increased. Of course, there is another situation. For example, there are many street lights here, and they are placed together. If you adjust it to the maximum distance, you may suddenly have several more lights. So it can't tell which one you want to read. He just can't know. It doesn't know which light you want to read because it receives several nearby lights at once, all received, so it will show out and say it hasn't received it. At this time, you need to adjust the remote control distance. Then, read it. You need to read the parameters of the light. So we usually stand close to the lamp, just standing under the lamp pole. For example, if the pole is 6 meters, we may put it at 5 or 6. For other distances, it will decrease continuously. Decrease this value to increase the distance. After modification, press this button to return and turn on the light again, and the left key to return. That's all we talked about today. The maintenance of lamps and lanterns, and how to solve problems if they occur. Of course, there are some rare cases not mentioned, because this is a very special case, because it depends on your installation location, installation time, or the things you install are different. Today, I just want to talk about some more wider range and high occurrence rate. As for other problems, very few. I hope you can contact us, and we will analyze them according to different situations. Specifically analyze